That super bummed look is because I forgot my laptop at home, which is normally not a huge deal, except I am here for 2 days this week, so I have to be able to get work done. Normally I fly in Monday morning, shoot the Star Wars show, fly home Monday night, but this week we have some extra stuff to do. I've got some stuff to edit, some stuff to shoot, you know how it is. I think this is the universe telling me to buy a new laptop. Oh, look at Tony the tough guy for our sketch.
I grew this for a role.
That is the only excuse for that mustache, Tony. I want you to know that.
Look at me hard at work.
This is good working B-roll of workers.
Can you cut this into a montage?
Yeah, and it's gonna be set to the fun. So it turns out I am doing more travel than I thought. Doing 2 days here, and then 3 days in New York. That is definitely the universe telling me to go grab a new laptop. I'm staying in the Presidio, which used to be a military base in the 19th century, and this is the Presidio Inn, which used to be kind of a boarding house for bachelor officers. It's pretty weird, pretty nice. The worst thing about the Presidio is it's just so ugly. When the universe gives you a sign, you listen to the universe. Do I love my friends? Of course I do. Could I hang out with them just until the end of time? Of course I can. I just have the most wonderful time in the world, but I don't know how to turn. Okay, time to set this up and get some work done. Right. Okay, first thing tomorrow, we are getting down to work. Ugh, what an absolutely ugly place. Hey, Kyle.
Hey.
Hey, John.
Just get.
Hey, Chewie. And now Rogue One, a Star Wars story, the deleted scene.
Oh no! I am an evil turtle! Fire the cannons! Krennic, you suck!
Stop trying to usurp my power, turtle! Krennic, I have decided to promote this baby over you, so now the order is turtle, then baby, then you. You're bad. Okay, obviously I've only had my hands on this thing for a little while, but here are my impressions so far, and you should know I am coming from a Razer Blade 14, and then before that, a bunch of MacBooks. First of all, I love the build on this thing. I love how thin it is. I love how light it is. It looks like it's gonna be huge and heavy, and I think it's technically heavier than my Blade was, but it doesn't feel it. Everything is really nice. All the fit and finish. I love the magnetic power adapter that goes in either way. I love having an SD card slot again. My Razer didn't have an SD card slot, and it's just one more thing to carry around. The screen is beautiful. Detaching the screen and turning it into a tablet is amazing. You feel stupid with a tablet this huge. I have the 15-inch, so it's like massive, but when you read comics on this thing, you don't care. It's just so beautiful. There is some weirdness detaching it into a tablet. Like, I want the interface to be scaled to 100%, like normal interface, so I have more screen real estate when I'm working on it as a laptop. But then when I have it as a tablet, I want everything to naturally get like 200% larger, so I can actually tap on it, and it doesn't really do that, which is a bummer. The touch keyboard implementation that Microsoft has is nowhere near as good as a dedicated Android or iOS tablet. It gets confused as to whether it should be in caps lock or shift sometimes. Certain keys wind up sticking. I have to reset the keyboard. I don't have a Surface Pen yet, so I'm probably not as in love with it as I will be once I get one of those, but as a tablet, I like it for reading things and watching movies and making people on the airplane look at me like I'm a crazy person because of the size of this frickin' tablet. Battery life is really good because there's a battery in here and then there's a battery in here as well, the tablet portion. All the hardware and software works really nicely together. So a couple things that I didn't like about my Razr, the trackpad was really terrible and the trackpad buttons were really bad. So when I'm editing a video on an airplane or just trying to get work done on an airplane and I can't rely on the trackpad and the buttons are mushy and bad, that's a no-go for me. This is really nice. The other thing was that my Razr, all of the hardware that was in it didn't really work together very well. Wi-Fi constantly dropped out on certain networks, and there were waking from sleep issues and sort of video issues. And I guess the nice thing about Microsoft making this computer the same way Apple makes MacBooks is when you make the OS and the hardware to work together, you don't really run into those issues too much. Some of the downsides, just like a lot of other people, I don't really like this. Feels like dirt and dust and weird stuff is just gonna get in there, especially in a bag. I haven't noticed too much of the screen wobble that everybody talks about, but I'm sure it's there, minimally. I don't know, are people just banging on things? I don't know, I haven't seen it. Oh, and also as beautiful and as wonderful as this sort of like soft touch magnesium finish is, I'm already scratching it, and I just feel like it's gonna be dinged up really quickly. Overall, I think it's my favorite laptop I've had in a really long time, including my last couple MacBooks. If you have any more questions about it, definitely leave them down below. I'm happy to answer them as I play with this thing a little bit more. And in the meantime, I have to go jump on a plane. I am heading to New York. And you're gonna wanna see what I'm doing in New York, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that little bell. Everybody's just always telling people to hit the little bell, so I'm gonna tell you to hit the little bell. Do what you want.